Hello, I am AJ Leon Young. Today we are going to be interviewing some farmers. So, my first question is, what is your favorite crop to grow?
What is my favorite crop? I'm going to say cotton is probably my favorite crop to grow because it's very, very beautiful and it fills the space very nicely. The flowers are wonderful and it's just a very magical plant. Yes, I think right now that could change next week though. But right now, today, I'm going to say cotton. That's my favorite plant to grow. What about you?
Hello. My favorite crop to grow today are tomatoes. I love tomatoes. There's so many varieties. I mean, I don't have enough fingers and toes to count the different sizes and shapes and colors. And I also like hibiscus. I love
I've
that.
never heard of that.
Yeah, have you ever heard of sorrel tea? It's a Jamaican drink and it's made from a beautiful flower called hibiscus and it's delicious.
So you guys grow that flower here?
We do. We do.
So my next question is, what is the hardest crop to grow or the irritating crop to grow?
That's a good question.
What is the hardest crop to grow? Okay, well, I'm going to say that will depend on where you are growing and the type of soil you're growing in. So any crop could be difficult to grow if you're growing it in conditions that it doesn't particularly care for. So, let's see. Okay, well, out here from last season anyway, we were having a little trouble getting sweet peppers to grow. And I'm not quite sure what exactly we're missing. I know out here it's very sandy, very, very sandy. So perhaps it didn't have enough oomph to grab on to, but it all depends on the plant. So I don't think there are necessarily any difficult plants to grow. I know spicy peppers, they like it hot. So in order for those seeds to come up, you need the dirt to be moist and hot. But, you just have to understand your plant and its needs. And it shouldn't be too difficult.
Same.
Yes.
Everything that Miriam said, it all depends on the conditions. Now, one thing that is difficult to grow, or I would say that other things like to eat other than us humans, would be for us cabbages and brassicas because during this time of the year, bugs like to come and nibble. And so they're watching it grow and we're watching it grow. And then again, people don't like to buy vegetables with worms in it or things like that. So we have to really keep an eye on keeping the pests under control. And we got that under control. I think that'll create a happier environment for the plant to grow.
Good. So, who does the most farming of the team? Who does the most work?
You're going to get us in trouble.
What you mean? Come on now. Okay. Yeah, you asking the tough questions. Okay, well, I'm going to be honest with you. We all come out here and do the work. There are three of us. One of our sisters is a little under the weather today, so you're getting edited out. No, not yet, honey. Hold on. So we have three of us, and one of our sisters is currently a little under the weather, so she was unable to come to this interview. But all three of us share the workload. Now, what you may find interesting or not is that there's a lot more to farming than just what you see behind us. There's things like insurance and coordinating volunteers and buying compost and finding who wants to dump free wood chips on your plot so that you can keep the weeds under control. There's a lot of things that go on, and the back office stuff is so boring and not out here that you can see. But there's a lot of that too. So everybody, each one of us plays a very crucial role in it. So even if someone isn't outside as much, or if someone isn't on the computer as much, or if somebody's not, coordinating volunteers as much, everybody, each one of us, we all put in 100% of what we are really good at, and it all works. It works pretty good. I think even though we feel overwhelmed sometimes, we're handling.
We're handling.
We're doing good. We got plants in the ground, baby. Oh, you want to answer too, or add to that? Okay, yes. Teamwork.
Great question.
Okay, so good.
Right.
Those questions are very good questions, and you answered some very good answers. Now, are we going to our reporter, Addison Leon Young? Hello, my name is Addison, and today I will be asking you a few good questions. Okay, what is your favorite food to eat?
Oh, so you gotta think about it, huh? Okay, my favorite food to eat. Okay, well, right now, this can change. Okay. So right now, I'm going to say greens. I've been eating a lot of greens. In fact, for breakfast this morning, I had some collards mixed with some mushrooms and ackee, and it was great.
Yeah.
And I'll probably eat that again tomorrow because I made a nice big pot for myself. And I think greens are on the top of my list this month.
This one. Same question. I would say sweet potatoes. I love baked sweet potatoes. I love sweet potato pie. I love sliced sweet potatoes. Um, and it's very filling, and it's just got that delicious flavor to it. Love it, love it, love it. That's just one of the things.
Okay.
One of my favorites.
Now, my second question is, how many female farmers are there?
In the world?
No, in the farm right here that I'm standing
On this whole farm, or just
on this farm.
okay? 3 of us.
I would say the short answer is like 95% of the farmers here. We have 2 male farmers here. Excuse me, 3 male farmers here. And everyone else out of the 10 plots, so that would make, 7.
That's a lot of farmers.
Yes, us women are coming through, my sister. We holding it down.
We are the foragers.
Mm-hmm. That's our
I wish
role.
it was like one boy.
Well, there is 2 independent, and then Mr. Phillip, he's part of the team with Miss Jeanette and Soji. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. But yes. Okay.
Thank you for those wonderful answers. Now we will be continuing with my twin brother, Anthony. Okay.
Hi.
I'm sorry, I just got chased by a pack of wolves.
A pack of wolves, you say?
Yes.
Wow. I'm so glad you made it, son.
Okay, first. I
You
have
okay?
some questions. Yes.
All right.
First, I have some questions to ask. First question: what is your favorite tool to use?
Oh, that's wonderful.
Man, you
Wonderful
good.
question.
Okay. Favorite tool? My hands.
What?
My hands, no gloves. My hands. I use
did.
those a lot. Not actual like tool, like what you would really think of.
This is a tool. These
Right,
are important tools.
Very.
Very
And I
important.
grew on myself. Well, my mama helped me, I guess. Grew on myself. Okay. The wheel hoe. It looks like a bike wheel, almost like one of those big handlebar motorcycles. With a wheel, and right behind that wheel, you can add a different attachment to do the job you need it to do. Typically, the job I need it to do is cutting down some weeds. So I use it to cut the weeds, and yeah. That's what I'm using the most right now. What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite?
My favorite is the standard typical hoe. I use it as an extension of my body. I can weed, and if I see a predator out in the farm or out in the garden, I don't have to get up on them. I can just take my hoe and shoo them away. And yeah, I learned that very early to always walk with your hoe.
Okay, okay. What made you want to be a farmer?
Do you know the answer for it?
Do I know that? What made me want to be a farmer? You want me to answer? What made me want to be a farmer? Because I love to eat.
Oh, good answer.
I like to eat and grow food. Simple as
Just
that.
like me. But I don't like the grow food part.
Oh,
Just the eating part.
just the eating part.
I'm hungry.
Okay, well, somebody grew it.
Right.
I'm hungry right now for burgers.
Me too.
No burger.
I'm hungry. Okay.
Okay. So I'm not really sure exactly how I got to this place. Um, I'm often moved by unknown sources. I'm not really sure. It was kind of like a voice that said, "Hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is what you need to be doing." So I got to the computer and started tick tack ticking, trying to figure out how I could get here.
I don't think those were unknown voices. I think it was God. Jesus.
You know, the ancestors could have been guiding me because I have many growing ancestors. They were farmers. And my grandma grew up on a farm, and her dad and her brothers, they were farmers, and their dad. And
So then you wanted to.
yeah, somebody came through and said, get this earth. So I'm getting this earth, I'm getting these plants. And I guess part of it too was trying to find a way to better connect to the land. See, this question goes a little deeper than I think y'all was ready for, but that's okay. It's just finding that connection and being able to produce the kinds of things that I want to eat, that I want my family to eat, the kinds of things that are healthier and more nutritious. So, like when we have um, the organic food and things, it's grown to a certain set of standards, and it's not necessarily what everybody thinks of when they think of organic.
Right.
So I know my husband, he's like, that's not organic, it don't have no seeds. And I was like, you're right. But at the same time, it could be classified as such according to the standards set forth by our wonderful government. So, that being said, I wanted to be able to know also where it was coming from and what it was, and to be able to truly have food that is our medicine. Because a lot of people will say my food is my medicine, but I don't think they realize how deep that goes.
Right.
Your food should be your medicine, but your food can't be your medicine if it's not grown in certain conditions where you actually get in the nutrients that are in the plant. Because it could say this is strong in vitamin K, but if your dirt don't have no vitamin K, the plant don't have no vitamin K. So, you took me far away. I'm sorry. That's how I got to wanting to be a farmer. I think there's a couple of things involved into
Can I
one
ask a
there.
question?
Okay, I have one more question with me.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
I have one more question. Do you have any cucumbers that I can taste? Because I'm hungry.
oh, baby, I wish. I do not have any cucumbers right now. I have greens. Cucumbers are in the hoop house, and they're still babies, so they have not had a flower nor a fruit yet. But if
Okay.
you come back in a couple of months, I'm
That's
so sorry,
wonderful.
baby. We're gonna make sure we save you some cucumbers.
We'll have to, and also,
So my question is, how do you know if your soil is healthy?
You got this. I know you do.
well, if there is life in the soil and microbials and lots of living, healthy bacteria, that's a good sign. When I open up the ground and I look at the soil and I don't see any worms there, I'm like, why aren't they here? Because they're so good for the soil. And that's what they actually, their role is um, to irrigate and also to provide wonderful nutrients called worm castings. So they eat um, plants and things like that that break down and poop it out, and it makes the soil nice and rich. And it's called worm castings, and it's something that they even sell in your nurseries and plant growing spaces. Um, and then there's always a soil test. You can test the soil yourself to see what's going on, if there's any lead in there, and you know, pesticides and things like that. So that's a good question.
Great,
Yeah.
great, great. So it's important to eat what's in season. So what is in season at this time?
Oh, leafy things. So, kale, collard greens, spinach, mustard greens, turnips, radishes, um, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, um, beets are popping, lettuce. Yes, these are many of the plants that don't mind the cold so much. I know these aren't necessarily the funnest things that most people want to eat.
It
Most
tastes
people,
good.
yes, most people are looking for like the watermelon and the cucumbers and the tomatoes and things, but those they come a little later.
Right.
Coming up where the yellow flowers are, those are uh, collard greens, and they're going to seed now. So that means the plant is pretty much done,
Mm-hmm.
and we can also save those seeds. So that's what we're going to try to do is collect the seeds, and we'll have those for next year. Coming down beside the collards in the next three rows, we have spinach. Somebody said they enjoyed spinach. Who was that? Okay. So yeah, so the next three rows are spinach. The ones that are kind of tall, they were here since well, they overwintered. So we didn't put those here. They just continued to grow because they like, cool weather.
Mm-hmm.
These two aisles here, we recently seeded those this year in 2023. Um, this row here are like gourmet lettuce,
Mm-hmm.
where we can, it's called like a cut and come again. So you
Yes.
don't have to pull the whole plant out. You can just go through and cut, package, and it'll continue to grow. And here's the thing that I was saying about the bugs. I mean, the bugs love them
Yes.
too. So you can see some of the holes in the leaves. Um,
They're still
more
edible though.
still edible. More spinach that is overwintered. Um, let's see. We did plant some rows
Yes,
that you
this
see are
one
bare.
has some not collard greens. This one has some cantaloupe. Then some of them are starting to sprout,
Yep.
and I think there's some string beans down that way as well that are beginning to come up.
Yep. So we just seeded these can
Yeah,
cantaloupe.
yeah,
Yeah, we
cantaloupe.
just seeded these like maybe
Maybe two
about a
weeks
week
ago,
ago,
a
two
week or
weeks
two.
ago. So pretty soon, this whole bed, this whole row will be full up with big leafy cantaloupe
Mm-hmm.
plants. Here we have lettuce. We have lettuce, butterhead lettuce. So that's going to bush up and fill out as the weather, more rain and sunlight and everything. It likes this kind of weather, but if it gets really, really hot, we know what happens with lettuce. I mean, you can cut it in the heat and it's wilted before you can even make your salad, right? So, but this is prime weather for lettuce growing.
Mm-hmm.
And further down, we have, I'll let Mir take that.
Oh, okay. So further
Hmm.
down, there's some collard greens and some kale. We have some turnips that are also going to seed, and we're trying to save those seeds so we can replant those in the fall and in the next season. More collard greens and kale again, and then just recently, these what they look naked but they not. There's some yellow squash and some zucchini on either sides
Yeah.
of this black tarp here. We'll be sticking some bell peppers and cucumbers and tomatoes in these slots coming up. And we also have some tatsoi and beets coming up on the
Beets.
far side here.
Mhm.
The tatsoi is a tender Asian mustard sort of plant. They're so cute. They look like little round scoops of lettuce, little
Bok
spoons
choy,
or
bok
something.
choy. Yeah.
They're really cute and they're quite tasty.
We're in good shape. We're in good shape. We were able to get a lot of seeds in the ground. And this book here, you guys, since we're doing an interview, it's one of the best books I've ever read on farming. It's called Farming While Black. Hold this, man.
I co-sign. I have
Yeah,
thoroughly enjoyed this
I
book.
mean, so if you guys want to get this book by Leah Penniman, it'll give you the history of black farmers and what our ancestors did as far as canning and the crops that we ate to sustain our bodies and things like that, and where these how these recipes and seeds have been passed down from generation to generation. So getting back to the land, I think this is what we all should be doing, is growing our own food and getting back to the land, because the other things haven't proved to be as help is it could be detrimental to our health.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so where you can go to find the Sisters of the Soil Community Farm is sistersofthesoil.life. That will be our website. We do our best to keep it updated. It's particularly in what produce, we have available given the month. We also are Sister Soil Farm. Yeah, Sister Soil Farm on Instagram and Facebook. And then we have our farmers market that will be starting on the 6th of May. We will also have transplants available, and that's going to be here, 601 Watkins Park Drive, on Saturdays and Sundays during the growing season from 11 to 2. Now, those hours are subject to change as things pan out. We might, do 10 to 3 or something. I don't know. But 11 to 2 is what you need to know for right now. That's where we are right now.
So that starts May 6th.
May 6th, 2023. Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm excited. So very excited.
So we wrap it up. Okay, so that's it for the Taste Buds interview.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
That's excellent.